If you're a leader and you're focused on driving real, measurable results, you know the name of the game is unlocking potential, both in your team and in yourself. Today, we're going to decode the art and the science of executive coaching. We're breaking down the exact framework that turns conversations into performance. Let's dive in.
So why are we even talking about this? Well, let's just start with the bottom line, shall we? For every single dollar you invest in executive coaching, you can expect to see up to an $8 return. That's what the data from places like the International Coaching Federation shows. This isn't some nice-to-have soft skill. It is a hard-nosed investment in high performance.
All right, here's our game plan. First, we'll look at how coaching has really evolved into a critical business tool. Then, we're going to get super clear on what it is and what it isn't. And of course, we'll talk about the common traps of bad coaching. From there, we'll get into the good stuff, the specific framework and the powerful questions that create real value. And we'll wrap up with the ultimate goal here, which is building lasting capacity in your leaders.
You know, coaching has come a long way from its early Wild West days. It's a mature, professional discipline now. And honestly, in today's world, where so much leadership happens through a screen, it's never been more relevant.
But here's the thing. A huge point of confusion still exists. What is a coach, really? Because it's not consulting, and it is definitely not therapy. Understanding this difference is absolutely the first step to unlocking its power.
This chart really lays it out. See? A consultant? They're the expert with the answers. A therapist? They help you heal by looking at the past. But look at that last row, stance. This is the game changer. A great coach operates from the fundamental belief that you, the client, already have what it takes to solve your own challenges. Their job isn't to give you the answers, it's to help you find them yourself.
Okay, so knowing the definition is one thing, but spotting ineffective coaching out in the wild, that's another skill entirely. So let's look at the anti-patterns. These are the questions you never want to hear from a high-impact coach. First up, the dreaded why question. This is such a classic mistake. The second a coach asks why, it puts you on the defensive. You're immediately forced to justify things that have already happened. Why looks backward. It invites excuses. Great coaching, on the other hand, uses what and how to build the future.
Now this one sounds harmless, right? It even sounds helpful, but it's a trap. Think about it. It forces you to spend your valuable time and your money just getting the coach up to speed on the history of the problem. A great coach doesn't need to hear the whole backstory. They need to help you write the next chapter. And here's the third big one, negative framing. A question like, what's stopping you, just invites you to stare at the wall. You end up dwelling on obstacles, maybe even complaining a little. It's such a subtle but crucial shift from a question like, what do you need to get moving? One focuses on the problem, the other focuses on the path forward.
So, if we're not asking those bad questions, what does a great coaching conversation look like? Well, it's not a random chat. It's actually a structured 4-step process. It's called active inquiry, and it's designed to get the maximum value out of every single session.
And the framework itself is a really simple, repeatable roadmap. You start by establishing a super clear outcome for the meeting. You set the stage for the conversation, you conduct the inquiry with those powerful questions, and, this is key, you always close with concrete next steps.
Let's just double-click on step 1 for a second, because honestly, it's the foundation for everything. A high-impact session always starts by defining value with a powerful question like this one. Without a clear goal that you've both agreed on, the conversation can just drift. This one question makes sure the entire hour is focused on a tangible result for you.
All right, having that 4-step framework is absolutely essential. But the real magic, the finesse, it happens inside of step 3, the inquiry. This is where we go from just following a process to the real art of asking powerful, forward-focused questions that get results.
This sequence right here, it's a masterclass in efficiency. It just bypasses all that unnecessary history, all the drama. First, what do we want to get done right now, in this hour? Second, big picture. What does the ideal future look like here? And third, what are your ideas to make that happen? See? It jumps straight to client-generated solutions.
So you might be wondering, why doesn't a great coach just give you advice? Wouldn't that be faster? This steam boiler metaphor explains it perfectly. As a leader, you walk into a session with your mind just full of steam, stress, competing priorities, all that mental clutter. Trying to just shove advice into that environment, it's completely useless. The process of active inquiry, of listening, it acts like a release valve. It vents all that pressure, and it creates the mental space you need to actually build something new.
And that really brings us to the ultimate purpose of all this. The true endgame of a great coaching relationship isn't just about solving today's problem. It's about building something much, much bigger for the future. This quote just captures the mindset shift perfectly. A truly effective coach has to unlearn the habit of just managing or consulting. It's not about having all the answers. It's about using a relentless, structured curiosity to help you find your own.
So let's be really clear about this. The goal is not to make you dependent on a coach. A great coach is actively trying to work themselves out of a job. Success isn't when you call them for every problem. Success is when you've internalized these frameworks and you've built the capacity to coach yourself through whatever comes next.
And that really leaves us with one powerful question to take with you. Whether you're hiring a coach for yourself or you're trying to develop your own team, the fundamental test is always the same. Is your approach creating a reliance on you for the answers, or is it building their capacity to find those answers on their own? That, right there, is the difference between good and great leadership.